Now, in the last video I did, I talked about how a Lyft driver got deactivated. And not only on that video, but other videos I've done as well, one kind of scary term to bring up is deactivation. What happens if you wake up one day, you're getting ready to drive, you go to turn on your Uber app or your Lyft app, and it says, sorry, you can't drive, your account's been deactivated, you can no longer drive. Do you have to worry about getting deactivated? Short answer, not really. But long answer, it's something that at least should be in the back of your head. Now here's what I mean. Taking a step back, remember that when you're a Lyft driver and an Uber driver, you are an independent contractor. This does vary state by state. I might as well say that because some states are now exploring the idea of moving you from an independent contractor to an employee. There's pros and cons on both sides, whole other subject for a whole other video. But overall, it's not even just about being a rideshare driver, but being an independent contractor. There's a lot of rights, unfortunately, that you do not have. And as much as this stinks to say, and as much as this might be frightening, Lyft and Uber, for the most part, could deactivate you or terminate your account without any warning and pretty much with little to no reason. Now, does that mean they're going to? No. I mean, this is about, in 99% of cases, you are fine, you're going to drive normally, you will not have to worry about this. However, it is unfortunate in those 1% of cases of drivers who do get deactivated, whether it's for a good reason or bad reason, again, that's a case-by-case basis, it is a very unfortunate thing, and something that you have to really, I think, as a driver, at least keep in the back of your head. I think too many drivers, I've noticed, put so many of their eggs in one basket of driving for Lyft and Uber. I've even had some drivers hit me up in comments saying, hey Mark, I'm not gonna lie, I drive for Lyft and Uber full time, but I know that deactivation is not something I can rule out. It could potentially happen. Let's say I get a really bad passenger, it turns into this he said versus she said situation. It's my word against theirs. Even if I'm right, even if let's say the passenger is making something up, guess what? Unfortunately, Lyft and Uber will typically take the passenger's side over a driver's side, even if they are 100% in the wrong. It's just an unfortunate thing that Lyft and Uber does. And so I'm not trying to scare you by making this video. If anything, I'm trying to hopefully alleviate some anxiety and some stress by saying, look, you don't really have to worry about being deactivated. It only happens to 1%, maybe even 0.1% of drivers, but it also isn't something that you have to 100% rule out, because as an independent contractor, it's just an unfortunate part. It's one of the cons and negative aspects of doing anything when you're an independent contractor. I remember, I think this was a few years ago, I believe maybe in 2017 or 18, there was a period of time, pretty brief, because obviously they got a lot of backlash for this. Uber was deactivating drivers' accounts and terminating their accounts if they only drove during the peak hours, which is ridiculous, right? I mean, isn't that the best part about being an Uber driver and a Lyft driver too, is driving during the peak hours so you can make a lot of money? And Uber was doing this. Of course, they stopped doing this because it was ridiculous, but that's just one instance that for something like that, it's not even that big of a deal. They weren't doing anything illegal, they weren't doing anything wrong, and Uber still said, you know what? We're taking down your account, we're terminating you, you cannot drive ever again. So yes, overall, deactivation does happen. It is something you have to at least, I think, have in the back of your head just to be aware that there's a minute possibility. But overall, looking at the big picture when it comes to deactivation, while yes, it does happen to a handful of drivers, and let's be honest too, any single time it happens to a driver, the news story usually gets really big. When it comes to 99.9% of drivers, it's something you don't have to worry about.